Hello, everyone. My name is Kumbira. Welcome to our second episode of Bridges to Germany, the Deutsch Connect podcast. And I'm happy today that we have a young lady that is from our Deutsch Connect network, Ruvimbo Jacinta. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, Kumbira. I'm honored to be here with you.
Thanks a lot. Rimbo, I want us, this is not something too hectic, too formal. It's more about getting information. It's also more about knowing more about you and your aspirations. So maybe let's just start with your background. Who is Ruvimbo? Where were you born? How old are you?
Okay, so my name is Ruvimbo Jacinta, as you have heard from Kumbira. I come from Zimbabwe in Murewa. That's where I was born. I was born and raised there in Murewa. And I also did my O level there in Murewa at St. John's Chikwaka High School. And yeah, from an early age, I had this passion for cooking. I had this passion for serving people, and just being social with people. So I guess
Okay.
that's where this journey started.
Okay. Interesting, Rimbo. Murewa. That's near Mtoko down there. That's where they have is it Zekasberg? Though there were famous hotels back in the day, Zekasberg, and I'm forgetting the other name. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's quite interesting. So you went to St. George Chikwaka.
Yes, St. John's Chikwara.
Okay. And okay, so I think in our last podcast we're talking to engineer Rukasha. She was talking about how from a very young age she also enjoyed she knew she was going to work in the aerospace,
Yeah.
like from 5 years old. And you are saying from a very young age you also knew that you enjoyed cooking, you enjoyed things related to you know that. So my question would be why, where did this come from, where did this idea sort of come from
The idea for
for you? I mean, the way for you to enjoy cooking and serving, was it because of how you were raised, or it was just you were the one who liked cooking? Or I don't, I'm trying to understand were you born with it? Was it something that you grew up liking, or
Okay, so the thing is, I was born with this. I was born with the edge to cook. I was born with the passion to cook. And the thing is, our household, it used to host a lot of people. My grandfather was an agri-tech's office, and people used to come to our homestead for, those green shores, agricultural things. And yeah, them coming to our house, we had to serve them, welcome them, give them food. So from that is actually one of the things which also strengthened my passion.
okay. So so what did you grow up cooking for all these people that came to visit?
Okay, as an agricultural thing that used to happen, we used to cook our own crops. For example, in Zimbabwe, there is maize, there is ground nuts, there is round nuts, and we used to cook this kind of meals for them, showing them this is what we grow in our farms, this is what we have. So those traditional meals, that's what I grew up cooking. And with growing up, going into town, going to stay with relatives, in towns, for example, in Harare, I also learned to cook some English dishes. For example, I learned to bake certain things. For example, to bake pies. I learned to even bake bread. Different types of things. Yeah.
Okay. So just In Germany, there are no meat pies. It's something that you don't find them in shops. Something that's too shocking for me. Maybe when you come, you might start your own pastry shop with Murewa pies there. So, so let's move on. After high school, then did you go into to study something that has to do with gastronomy?
Unfortunately, I wanted to do food and you know, that kind of subject, but I was too late to join it, so I had to join another branch. But that didn't stop me from, pursuing. I would pursue my dream at home, trying to cook things, trying to do these stuffs and yeah, and everything else. So at school, I didn't actually do anything which had to do with this stuff.
Okay. So why did you choose to do the German language? Do you have relatives in Germany, or what was the push or the motivating factor for you to do the German language?
Okay. Firstly, I don't have relatives or anyone in Germany, so I am the first. So yeah, my mother actually came up with the idea. She researched and she she was first motivated with the German setting before I was. So before my results, my O-level results, um, she actually spoke to me about this. This is the Germany set up, and first you have to do the language and stuff. At first, she was also scared that I was not actually going to take it and pursue it. It's actually a difficult thing to do, learning a different language. So she wasn't actually sure if I was going to take it. So when she told me, I actually went on and researched about Germany, the opportunities it withholds, and everything else. So I decided, no, I'm going to do this language. I didn't know how challenging it was. I didn't know how I was going to adapt to the language, but I just said, you know what, let me do this.
Okay, interesting. So you did German language straight after high school.
Exactly. After my O-level results, I did my A1 in March. I started March 2024. I started my journey learning the language A1. I did my A1, but I didn't write the A1 exam. I went on to write the A2 exam. And to be honest, it was an interesting thing to learn the German language. Not very easy, but it was very good. It was an experience which is worth trying.
Okay, interesting. Some of our German viewers, they also want to understand, like, okay, so I mean, as Deutsch Connect, we teach the German language, but you did not learn from us as well. You came
Yeah.
to us later on. Tell us about your experience of learning the German language. Were you learning online or were you learning physically? How was the experience, and how many students were you? And yeah, just take us through the experience, because we also want our audience to understand that people in Zimbabwe, in Africa, are actually learning the language and are actually enjoying it, and as well as passing the exams.
Okay. So I started learning German language at the Deutsche Schule in Avondale, Harare. I did my A1 there. It was an interesting journey, starting to learn the alphabetical order, starting to learn the numbers, starting to learn everything from scratch. It was a good experience for me, I don't want to lie. Some things were hard to learn in Germany, but eventually I adapted. From A1 there, I did also my A2 there, and we were different ages. In our class, I was 17 by then. I was 17, and there were other people who were actually in their 20s. Others were actually in their 40s. Different age groups, but people were learning. People were learning.
Interesting. So you did your A2, then you saw the A2 exam. You wrote it at Goethe Institute.
Yes, I wrote my exam at Goethe Institute, my A2 exam, and I actually passed. I wasn't expecting it because it was my first exam, and I was just getting familiar with the Goethe Institute, you know. So I actually got a pass. I got my A2 certificate, and then I proceed to the B1 lessons.
Okay. Exciting. I just wanted to mention something as well. Like you learned at the Deutsche Schule. You know, a lot
Yes.
of times people think that we're in competition, Deutsch Connect or the Deutsche Schule. I think our industry is it's so big that we can always accommodate each other. And I feel like as Africans, if we collaborated more, people would succeed better. So that's all. So then you do your B1, then you sit for your B1 exam, then you wrote your B1 exam as well in 2024 and 2025.
I wrote my B1 in 2025 in March this year.
Okay,
Yes.
and and you passed your B1.
Yes, I passed my B1.
Okay, so when you say you passed your B1, because this is something I always get a lot of calls or questions. Say, okay, so my daughter did B1 or I did B1 and I passed three and I'm left with Sprechen or I'm left with Oren. I just wanted to make it clear that when you've passed B1, you've passed the four parts of it.
Yes.
It gets and that gets you one. That gets you like you don't pass three and the fourth you don't have. Then you say you have B1. So
Yes.
I'm just
Yes.
putting it out there because I get a lot of phone calls. Yeah, I've got B1, but I'm still to write another. So I'm like, you're still to write what? If you passed, you have all of them. That's the B1 certificate itself. No, so then yeah, so then post B1
Mhm.
you decide you want to come to. So by the time you were talking to your mother, you already knew you wanted to come to Germany to do apprenticeship.
Yes. Yes.
And this was specifically in gastronomy.
Yeah, it was actually specifically in gastronomy, as I said before, that I had a passion for cooking. So I just wanted something to do with that passion. I just wanted something to do with the cooking industry. So, as I have heard that Germany has gastronomy, hotel management, and stuff, I took it as an opportunity that it will actually boost my experience. It will also boost my passion.
Okay. So this is going to be a controversial question because I also talk to a lot of parents and all. And because we teach the German language, we know the opportunities in German. We always say, look, even if your child has finished Form 4, they can start the German language. They don't need to go to A level. Or even if they finished A level, they don't need to go to university because
Yes.
with apprenticeship, they can be able to already start learning and earning at 18 or at 19 years.
Yes.
So we come from a traditional where people believe that A level is very important, university is very like the whole. How do you see this opportunity better than you going to A level or better than you going to university? I want to understand from someone who's actually walking the talk that we often talk about.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. Even the society will also ask, why don't you just go to A level and do this, go to university and stuff. Um, I also went through that, but I am a person who understood that in the time we are actually living, um, we don't have enough resources to say A level, to say university, and all the other kind of stuff. So in Germany, the advantages that I saw were that even if I go to Germany and I start an apprenticeship, it is actually cheaper because you learn the language also, you learn how to do the job, and you don't pay. It is now different from other universities that you go, you pay for a certain period of time, you pay maybe for 4 years, you're paying fees, you're paying what. Yet in Germany, doing an apprenticeship, you're actually being paid. That
No,
actually
that's
makes very good.
no, that's quite it's quite interesting you say that. I mean, I was also sitting down with my daughter, who's 19 now, and my son, and I was just doing figures with them to say, look, for example, some of us when we went to university, I went to university in South Africa, University of KwaZulu Natal. So
Mhm.
you'd calculate, okay, per year we're paying almost 20,000 US dollars inclusive of accommodation, of which ours was one of the cheaper universities, so to speak. Others are more expensive. Then, so if you do a 3 year program, that's 60,000. Then the majority of people that I know are not even working in the job in what they studied.
That's
So was that an investment uh, to go 3 years, pay all that amount, and then still start again from zero? I mean, the education that you get and all that. Right now, we're talking about AI. We're talking about skills. These
yes.
things you can be able to get them online without necessarily having to go. So yeah, it's controversial. I mean, but I also we believe in disruption, in telling people the truth. To say, look,
Yes.
this was what we used to do. This is what. So I like what you just said. So at 18, you can be able to start earning and learning at the same time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
you are doing your apprenticeship, but you're also being paid to do that apprenticeship. So that means at 18, you're already independent. So
Mhm.
the investment that your parents put in teaching you the German language and sending you to Germany, it's minimal compared.
Yes.
I mean, that's two or three salaries of yours when you're in Germany for them to recoup that investment. So I think
Yes.
that makes it interesting. So then, how do you then come on board the Deutsche Connect?
Okay. With the Deutsche Connect, I after my B1, I went to LSG for apprenticeship placements. And whilst they were looking, they found out that Deutsche Connect actually has partnership with Hub for Africa, and they teach you. They have a course that they teach you what you are going to be doing in practical. So they then introduced me to Deutsche Connect, to Kumbirai, and then that's when I started my Upskilling for Germany. That's when I did my interview for the Upskilling for Germany program. So that's how it started.
Okay, thanks. You mentioned another organization, LSG, again,
Yes.
and I'll reiterate my point that we are not competitors. We collaborate, and
Yes.
it's exciting that you went to the Deutsche Schule, then LSG assisted you with placement, and
Yes.
then you came to Deutsche Connect for the upskilling for Germany. So, which I mean, this I think for me that shows that within the industry you can work with everyone within the value chain. Uh,
Yes.
I know. Okay, so and thankful to mention Hub for Africa there, our partners. It was the pilot project, the upskilling for gastronomy that you guys enrolled. I think even you remember, even when we were training you for the interviews and things like that, it was also a learning phase for all of us. So with the upskilling for Germany program, it was started by German companies in Bavaria in
Mhm.
partnership with Hub for Africa, in partnership with the state chancellery in Bavaria, because there was a feeling that even if someone comes with their B1 German language,
Yes.
but are they ready to work within the system? Like you are coming, but you are not work ready. So this is a 15-week program, which is for free and done online from your country. Then when you finish, you get a certificate that's proudly Bavarian, and this certificate enables you to be able to find apprenticeship or a job not only in Bavaria but in Germany. And it sets you apart from anyone who just has B1 because you now have a certificate coming from Germany in your field. So, Ruvimbo, going back to you now, what are you learning? in the Upskilling for Germany program. Can you take us through what does it involve? What are you guys learning and how are you learning?
Okay, so first and foremost, um, the first week that we started this upskilling for Germany, we were being actually taught about how to use Teams, how to use things like PowerPoint, how to use the IT and all that kind of stuff. For example, I didn't do computers at school, but I actually benefited. I benefited from learning how it's used, how to conduct our classes online, how to do it, and all that kind of stuff. And it's actually still helping me now that I know I didn't go for computers at school, but now I know I have knowledge about IT through that program. And we are learning different kind of things. For example, we're actually learning the language further. We are learning the language further. We have our classes at 11 a.m., which conduct the German lessons. We learn the German lessons just like we learned our A1, A2 at school, even those we learn online. That's how we are doing it. We are furthering our Germany experience in language, in speaking, in writing, in reading, in hearing, everything, every sector. And that's an added advantage, learning the language further. And another thing that we are doing at 1 o'clock, here it will be 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock to 5:30. We will be learning the gastronomy industry and the hotel management. That's when we will be learning, for example, how to serve guests, how to talk to guests. There are different types of guests in this industry, different
Okay.
types of customers. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Interesting. So, so you are learning this in German, yeah? So,
Yes.
so that you're able to serve the guests in Germany, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I think you also know what else are you going to learn in the future within the 15 weeks? What other topics are there that so that we just also inform someone who might want to take up this program going forward?
Okay. In the following weeks, we'll continue learning about hygiene, how someone is supposed to be hygiene personally, hygiene in the kitchen, hygiene in serving guests. It actually helps, and also learning about the HACCP in the gastronomy industry, learning different types of Ausbildungs in this gastronomy sector, hotel management, hotel specialist, the cook, every department will be learning about it.
Okay. And how many people are teaching you this?
Okay, so we have one teacher for the German lessons. We have two teachers for the gastronomy and hotellerie program. And also we have the facilitators of Hoop for Africa. They will be there too.
Okay. So all these people are based in Germany
Yes, they are all based in Germany.
and you are doing it online
Yes, online.
and they are doing this for free.
It is for free. You don't pay anything to learn. They just teach
No,
you.
I think sometimes when you tell people such opportunities exist, people think there's a catch to it or
Yes.
something along the line. So that's why we also decided to also speak to you, speak to people who are actually doing the program. Sometimes we feel information does not get into the right hands because we also don't talk. We want to keep things for ourselves. So
Yes.
I thank you a lot, Ruimbo, for making time. I know you also got lessons. You're going to start your lessons just now. So thanks a lot for that. Maybe one final thing, and I would ask you to do this both in English and German.
Okay.
What are you? I know you guys are going to finish in January, and this
Mhm.
probably means by April you should then be in Germany,
Yes,
working or doing your apprenticeship in Germany by then. What you talked about the different types of apprenticeship that are available. Which one do you want to focus on? Why do you want to focus in that particular sector of the gastronomy and hotel? And why should someone, if there's a company out there watching, if there's a recruiter out there watching, looking for talent in the gastronomy industry, why should
yeah,
they choose you? So you could start in English. Then obviously we also have uh, German companies who watch this episode. You could
yes.
then finish off in German. So start with English. What you want to study, why you want to study that, and why should a company recruit you for that? Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
So,
see your skills. Let's see your German skills later when you finish. Yeah.
okay. So, I would like to do an Ausbildung um, as a chef in Germany. And I would like to do this Ausbildung because I have the passion for it. I have the experience. I also have the experience from Upskilling for Germany, how to serve guests, how to, maintain hygiene, and how to serve customers. So I think this is the right field for me, and they should actually choose me because I have the experience and the passion. Okay, so now in Germany,
Auf
um,
Deutsch. Yes.
ja, auch Deutsch. Sie sollen mich erwählen, da ich fleißig, freundlich und auch ich habe Erfahrungen mit Gästen, ich habe Erfahrungen mit Hygiene und auch ich habe viele Erfahrungen von Upskilling for Germany. Und ich musste eine Ausbildung als Chef machen in Deutschland.
Okay. Vielen Dank, Ruibo. Thank you very much for taking the time. We wish you all the best in your journey with the upskilling for Germany, and then after that to find an apprenticeship in Germany. This is a very good program you're doing. You're a pioneering group. Would also we also say each one teach one, or train the trainer. Find someone to encourage. Find someone else to train, so that more people may be able to benefit from such programs. So once again, Rimbo, thank you for taking your time, and yeah, we wish you all the best in your journey.
Thank you so much, Kumbira. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.